Someone sent me a comment saying that they didn't feel comfortable flicking off their worry bully because their worry bully was actually a miniature version of themselves. Welcome to the Ask a Therapist show. My name is Lindsay Guichard, and I'm an online licensed marriage and family therapist and the creator of the mental health blog, thetravelingtherapist.com, where you can find all of my online services and online courses. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Connection and Direction Life Coaching with Lindsay Guichard. By the end of the first session called Who Am I?, you will receive 5 different assessments that will give you a much clearer picture of who you are and how you interact with the world around you. Leave the link in the description box. Tonight's icebreaker is called the Worry Box. This is actually a good complement to an exercise we did a little bit ago called the worry bully. And actually someone sent me a comment saying that they didn't feel comfortable flicking off their worry bully because their worry bully was actually a miniature version of themselves. And I want to thank the person who left that comment because I didn't realize that I hadn't quite described that one rule of the worry bully exercise, and that is it can be anything and anyone except for yourself. If it's anyone or anything, then it'll be a lot more effective. So this icebreaker is the worry box. And what we want to use the worry box for is we're going to get a container, we're going to put it in a safe place. I actually prefer my container not to be see-through because I don't want to know how many worries I put in there. But basically, if there is a worrisome thought that you don't actually even recognize it coming from your worry bully, it's just something that keeps popping up and it won't leave, even despite the worry bully flick and visualizing it and stomping it to the ground. Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go to the worry box, and right next to your worry box you're going to have a pad of paper and a pencil or a pen. And you're just going to write down the worry, you're going to crumple it up, and you're going to put it in the box. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us a physical action so that we can try to take the worrisome thought out of our head and onto paper and into the box so that we don't keep carrying it around. This evening's question is, what are some strategies that I can use to help support my children's mental health amidst the pandemic? I want to answer this question by creating a chart. And I'm actually going to expand upon this question because what I want to do is I want to share with you at every age what the conflict is, what is the struggle, what are we looking for in every single age that we are in. So we are going to create, take a second and grab a blank piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. And we're going to make 4 different columns. We're going to label the first one age. And then the next column over, we're going to name that conflict. And then the next column over, we're going to name that resolution or virtue. And then the final column, which is actually the biggest column, is going to be the culmination of the stage. Just gonna hop right in, and we're gonna keep going through and go down. So you're gonna come and follow along with me with this chart. So we're gonna start at the very first stage, and it's gonna be under the age, and we're gonna label that infancy. And the age range is 0 to 1. And that's 0 to 1 year. And then the conflict is basic trust versus mistrust. The resolution or virtue is hope. The culmination is appreciation of interdependence and relatedness. Okay, now we're going to go on to stage 2. Stage 2 we label the underage is the next row down, is early childhood. And that's going to be the ages from 1 to 3 years old. The conflict is autonomy versus shame. The resolution is will. And the culmination of the stage, acceptance of the life cycle from integration to disintegration. The next stage is called the play age. We're going to label play age, and that is 3 to 6 years old. Conflict is initiative versus guilt. The resolution is purpose. The culmination of the stage is humor, empathy, and resilience. The next stage down is school age, and that's going to be anywhere from 6 to 12 years old. The conflict is industry versus inferiority. The resolution is competence. The culmination of the stage, humility, acceptance of the cycle of one's life, and unfulfilled hopes. The next stage is called adolescence, and that's going to be ages 12 to 19. Conflict is identity versus role confusion. The resolution or the virtue is fidelity. And the culmination of the stage is sense of complexity of life, merging of sensory, logical, and aesthetic perception. Next stage is early adulthood, and that's from 20 to 25 years old. The conflict is intimacy versus isolation. The virtue is love. And the culmination of the stage is a sense of complexity of relationship, value of tenderness, and loving freely. Adulthood is ages 26 through 64. The conflict is generativity versus stagnation. The resolution and value is care. And the culmination of the stage is caring for others, empathy, and concern. The last stage is labeled old age, and the age range is from 60. The conflict is integrity versus despair, or the resolution or virtue is wisdom, and the culmination of the stage is existential identity, a sense of integration, strong enough to withstand physical disintegration. Okay, thank you so much for letting me walk through that with you. My hope for providing us this chart is that we can have a nice jumping off point to start researching things that we can do to help strengthen whatever resolution or virtue we are wanting in regards to where we are in our age. And specifically, if you are wanting to have certain strategies for your children if they're in school age, I would encourage you to reach out to me for a one-on-one free 15-minute consultation call. When we get on the call, you can tell me the age of your children, and I can give you some free suggestions on some different strategies that you can use. The chart we went over tonight is from Erikson, and he created the 8 stages of psychosocial development, and that's what we went through tonight. If you would like to learn more about Erikson or just have a little bit more information behind the stages, I've provided a video in the description box. The other day, my friend had a suggestion for me to make a Google form so that people can send in their mental health questions anonymously. So I went ahead and created one for us. So if you have a mental health question that you would like to send in for the Ask a Therapist show, the link is in the description box, and you can fill out a question and I will get it, and it doesn't take name or email or anything like that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.